Kingdom of Ash. Welcome to the vlog. We're doing it. Hello, welcome to a new reading vlog. In this reading vlog, I will finally be finishing the Throne of Glass series. That's right, I'm reading Kingdom of Ash. We're doing it. We've put it off for so many months and now it's finally happening. I've actually already started. Way ahead of myself here. I have got about, I think I'm 25% in to this book. So we finished off with Tower of Dawn, Empire of Storms, and we found out that Maeve is the big bad, the biggest big bad, and that she's actually a Valg queen. We left off with Kael and Irene and Nesrin, and I've forgotten the prince's name. The memory's not great. It has been several months since I've read these two books now. They had decided to contribute their armies and they were on their way to join Aelin, or so they believe, because as we know, Aelin was actually captured by Maeve and, you know, taken away in an iron box to be tortured. I've just got past the section. We had a lot of lovely torture scenes with Aelin. I think they were quite vague. I don't think they went into great detail, but they gave you enough information that you could conjure up images and get an idea of what had been done to her by Cain. Cain? I think he's called Cain. Or is it Ken? We don't like him anyway, so it doesn't matter if we get his name wrong. I just got to the section where Rowan goes into the camp. They find out where Aelin is, and Rowan goes into the camp to try and save her, unawares that she's actually trying to escape herself at the exact same time. And Fenris has broken the blood oath, with Maeve to try and save Aelin from getting her spine crushed by Cain. And Aelin actually manages to get out of the tent and run for it. Meanwhile, Rowan's on the way, fighting his way to the tent, but Aelin's already like, I'm out of here. Fenris is not in a good place. But then Aelin manages to get up on the hills where Lorcan and Elide and Gabriel, I'm pretty sure it's Gabriel, are waiting for Rowan's signal to go down and help Rowan. So then they kind of signal Rowan to say, yo, she's over here. They struggle with trying to get like the irons off her, and they eventually get them off. And then Rowan goes back in for Cain. Again, vaguely hints as to what he's gonna do to him. That man wanted to get revenge, so he did. We also have Dorian, who is with Manon and the 13, and they have found the Crochan witches, because Manon, of course, we found out, is actually the rightful Crochan queen. I freaking love Manon. I love Abraxos. Like, every time it's focusing on Manon and Dorian, Manorian, yes. Every time it's focusing on them guys, I'm just like, this is my happy place. This is where I want to be. They've found the Crochans. They're trying to get them on side. Dorian's learning to shapeshift. He's figured out that he can shapeshift now. And I think we just had a scene where Manon finds out that Dorian knows where the third word key is and is going to go after it. So that is where I'm up to with Kingdom of Ash. I'm very excited to carry on with this. It took me a little bit to get into it at first, just because it has been a few months since I read the rest of the books, and I put it off. I'm not gonna lie, I like massively put this off because A, I didn't want it to end. This series has been so fun, so enjoyable, and B, I didn't want it to end. But no, seriously though, I did get in a bit of a reading slump, I think like November, December. I then managed to push through my slump and read The Winners by Frederick Bateman, which was just horrific for me. Like, the book's not bad, the book's great, but it was so traumatizing and like heartbreaking. I'm still scarred, I'm still damaged from reading The Winners. We're just at the start of February now. January went well. I did a good set of reading in January. I'm getting back into my reading again now. I'm feeling good about it. Just finished the audiobook for Daisy Jones and the Six yesterday. Really excited about the Amazon series that's coming out. If you want to know more about what I've been reading in January, you can watch my wrap-up video. Gonna continue with Kingdom of Ash. Film some bits, hopefully catch some reactions, although I feel like I'm not a very expressive person when I'm reading. I'm a crier, but I don't think I'm an expressive reader. Haven't yet been brave enough to A, film myself crying my eyes out, and B, put that on the internet, But we will see. We will see. Maybe I will let you see my trauma. Maybe. Popping in with a quick update on Kingdom of Ash. I am now a substantial chunk of the way through this book. I am on page 558, chapter 65. So, things that have happened since I last popped into this vlog. Aelin has been saved, Aelin has escaped, Aelin and Rowan, etc. have met up at Anielle with Chaol and Irene and Sartak, etc. And we've had the battle at Anielle, which ended with Lorcan being missing and Elide getting on Chaol's horse and riding out to try and find him after being told that the dam is broken and is going to kill everyone out on the plain. Does Elide care? No, because Elide is going to find Lorcan. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I loved that whole scene. I mean, it was terrifying, but like, it was so good. Elide just like, stuff you all, I'll go then if none of you are willing to go help him. And she just rides out onto this battlefield. Everyone else is fleeing and she's riding in the opposite direction to everyone else, trying to find Lorcan amongst piles of bodies. And she finds him. And she manages to get him on the horse and get back on it herself. And then she's riding back. The dam's gonna break. I was like, they're not gonna make it. This is it. It's done. They're gonna die. And then Aelin comes through. And it turns out she has been tunneling down into her power for the last 3 months whilst locked in an iron box. And the dam bursts. And Aelin goes out onto the field and she just turns all of the water from the dam into steam and saves everyone that is left on the field. And it's a good job too, because the rest of the Kagan forces were on their way, which they did not know. So she happens to have also saved the rest of the army that she's going to need to help her. The main reason that she had been saving this power was to kill Maeve. But obviously she's now used it for another purpose. So she now doesn't have that nice saved up piece of power for killing Maeve. So that's a small problem. But on the plus side, we have an army still. So that's good. I think I'm going backwards here, but we also had scenes where Aedion and Lysandra are up in... They're not in Terrasen, I don't think. I think they've come down lower to try and protect Terrasen from a more southern position. They're not doing well. They are losing. Their men in the battle start to run. They decide this isn't worth it. We're all gonna die, and they start to flee. And so Lysandra shapeshifts into Aelin and goes out to fight. Bearing in mind, although she can shapeshift to appear like Aelin, she does not have the powers that Aelin does. So she is in hand-to-hand combat with a load of Valg, and the people start to rally behind her. They start to come back because they think it's the queen who can protect them, and it's not. I thought Lysandra was gonna die. I was very scared for Lysandra. There is a scene where she is fighting a bunch. It's not Valg, it's the other things. Not the weird hounds, the flying ones. She's fighting them, and they think they have like poison or something on their talons. They cut her thigh. Backtrack one more second. Aedion and Lysandra have not been on the same page since he found out that she was gonna pretend to be Aelin. He's not happy about it. He's pissed off, and he has been treating her a little bit shitty. And all of a sudden, when he realizes, oh, she might actually die, he then realizes, oh, I do care. I have been a dick. Oops. And he is then charging towards her, trying to stop her from dying. And obviously he's got this huge field to get across. And you spend these moments with Aedion as he is running towards Lysandra, thinking she's gonna die, and thinking about what an ass he has been And that whole scene, like, I don't know, I just find it, whenever she has these scenes, I find them really fast-paced. Anyway, I think he manages to get to her just in time. Once she has recovered, he tries to make things right and tries to apologize, but she ain't having none of it because he has not been a good person to her, and I'm very sad about this. I really was enjoying Lysandra and Aedion's relationship, and it's so sad that they're now, it's not a thing, because he's been a bad boyfriend and she doesn't want anything to do with him now. And then on the other hand, we have Manon and Dorian. Manorian is the best thing that ever happened to me, I swear. I love Manon and Dorian. I love them individually. No, that's a lie. I love Manon individually. But I love Manon and Dorian together. And I love how Dorian behaves around Manon. Anyway, Manon and Dorian are with the Crochan witches. They have gone to find the Crochan witches. I think she also tried to go and see the Blue Blood witches. She tried to kind of get them on side with her, but it didn't work out. So she's trying to get the Crochan witches on side, and the 3 matrons turn up. So like her grandmother, the Blue Blood matron, and the Yellow Legs matron. Basically there's this standoff, this fight between Manon and the 3 matrons, and all the Crochans are watching, and she kills the Yellow Legs matron. Then she says to the Blue Bloods matron, "You can go." And then she's fighting with her grandmother, and I'm like, yes, let's do it, let's get rid of her, like, come on, Manon. End her life. And the grandmother ends up fleeing, so she's still not dead. I just want her to be gone. I want Manon to get her. I believe Manon was actually going to let Astrid finish her off, and that's when she fled, because Astrid needs that closure. I really hate Manon's grandmother. So once Manon's grandmother flees, the Crochans finally are on side with Manon and accept Manon and crown her their queen. I was so happy. So Manon is now Queen of the Crochans. Scooting back to present day, I have just read the bit between Elide and Lorcan after Lorcan wakes up. So he's been healed by Orynth, and he's now having a conversation with Elide. When he was on the horse and they were riding back, he declared that he loves her. So they have a conversation about how much they love each other. I'm obsessed with Elide and Lorcan. I don't know what it is. Like, Manon and Dorian and Elide and Lorcan. Obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Okay, I'm jumping back again to Elide and Lorcan when they're on the horse. He is going to sacrifice himself. He's going to throw himself off the horse, which is kind of annoying because it's like she's gone to all this effort to get to him. Don't then throw yourself off the horse because she's going to die anyway because she came out to get you. But putting that aside, he's going to sacrifice himself because he's like, I'm too heavy. You need to leave me so that you can get there in time before you die. And then he whispers in her ear, I love you. I have loved you from the moment you picked up that axe to slay the Ilkin. And I will be with you. I will be with you always. Oh. He then starts to let go of her, preparing to throw himself off the horse, and she grabs him and she's like, no. And she won't let go, so he can't do anything because she's got her death grip on him. He is not getting off that horse. I also love the part where Lorcan wakes up and the first thing he hears is, you are one lucky bastard. And it says, too soon. Too damn soon after hovering near death to hear Fenris's drawl. I just love that. Jumping back forward, so the last thing I have actually read, I totally forgot this, how did I forget? Aedion and Lysandra and their army are kind of retreating, and I think they end up at this river. They are basically about to be stuffed, and then Rolf turns up with the fleet, and they have some sort of contraption that shoots flames and fire out, and it scares the Valgoth for enough time for everyone to like board the ships and get them out of there because they were literally about to be dead. Also, the Valg threw a load of heads at them all, and they were all the heads of the backup army that they were expecting. That is where I'm up to. I'm on chapter 65, and the first line is, Dorian had gone to Morath. So I'm gonna keep on reading. Let's cross our fingers for Dorian and hope that he's okay. And I will check back in with you later. What the hell is Dorian doing? Why is he proposing A, allying with Maeve, and B, marrying her? Also, the ferrying gap is empty. The witches are not there. Where have they gone? Just finished a chapter. Dorian just destroyed Morath and learnt some of Maeve's powers and stopped Maeve being able to move through portals. I'm so happy. I'm really enjoying this book. Dorian is a badass. Dorian's a badass. Yes, Dorian. I can't wait to see what happens next. Quick update on Kingdom of Ash. I am now on chapter 82. So I'm on page 694. And I read a couple of chapters the other day and I was very emotional. We're back with Aedion and Lysandra and they're about to face Morath's army again for the second day in a row after taking out 2 of the witch towers the previous day. And one of them is down but not fully destroyed, so they are worried about that getting moving again. Things are looking pretty bleak, and they basically all think they're going to die, and we have like this moment between Aedion and Lysandra where he basically tells her he loves her and he's been in love with her and that he should have told her every day. He asks her to leave, he asks her to take Evangeline and leave, but she's not going to do that. And then we have this moment where someone or something is flying towards them from the opposite side to the rest of the army, and they think that they're being flanked from both sides. But it's Manon and the 13. Which I kind of like, I had a feeling. As soon as it said there was something in the air, I was like, yes. So then Manon turns up. Oh my gosh, I got so emotional. Darrow's like, we're not gonna surrender, and she's like, we don't want you to surrender. And then like she does this little speech, she like shouts out so all the soldiers can hear, and she says, we came to honour a promise to Aelin Galathinius, to fight for what she promised us. And oh my god, Darrow's like, and what was that? Manon's like, a better world. I just fell to pieces. I was booing my eyes out. I love Manon. So Manon is also wearing her Crochan crown, and she says, long ago the Crochans fought beside Terrason. We were your closest allies and friends. We heard your call for aid and we have come to answer it. And Aedion's like, how many? And she's like, see for yourself. It then has this beautiful description of all the Crochans emerging between like these mountain peaks with like their red cloaks flowing in the wind. I'm so into this book, I'm sorry. And there's thousands of them. So they now have an aerial legion to fly against the Iron Teeth Witches. That's where I'm at. I'm going to carry on reading. And let's see what a mess I am. Lorcan and Elide. I need help getting into the bath. Do you now? I might slip. A dangerous time, bath time.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Absolutely gutted. I have composed myself. The rest of the 13, I can't talk, sacrificing themselves. As soon as Astrid said to Manon, live, I like burst into tears. I was like, no. Oh, that was hard. That bit was really hard. Like, I love Manon. I love the 13. I think they're like my favourite part of the series. I'm so relieved Abraxos did not die. I've been like worrying about that the whole last few books. Like, don't let anything happen to Abraxos or Manon, please. So I was freaking out when that happened. I'm so glad Abraxos and Manon are okay, but I'm absolutely gutted about the 13 and Astrid. Oh my gosh. The bit where Glenys repeats like that prophecy that the witches have. And then the last line in the chapter is, and far away across the snow-covered mountains on a barren plain before the ruins of a once great city, a flower began to bloom. No. Oh, it's so sad. I don't find witches interesting normally, but like, I love how the witches are written in this book, and they're not like, you know, typical magic wielding witches. They're like almost human. They've like these animalistic features with like the, you know, like the iron teeth witches with the teeth and the nails. I love the witches in this book. I love the whole setup with the different clans and the matrons. I love seeing the transition from horrible, brutal, warmongering witches to realising they're actually quite human and that they can love, and it's just so good. I'm so gutted. I'm gutted. Okay, so now we're getting to like the bit. Dorian's turned up with the 3 weird keys, and him and Aedion have agreed to open the lock together, and they've all snuck off. Rowan, Chaol, Aedion and Dorian. Oh my gosh, Dorian and Chaol's reunion. Like, I'm not sure like how long they've been separated. It's like several books worth, isn't it? I don't know what like the time span is. More than 3 months, I'm guessing. Yeah, because that's how long Aedion was locked up, and then it's probably like another month. So like, they've been apart for months. They haven't seen each other for months. They didn't know how either person was doing. And the reunion between them was so lovely. But then obviously now, like, Dorian could die. Or Aedion could die. We don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to carry on reading. Aedion just tried to make a deal with the gods. I don't understand. Saying, don't take everyone with you, but leave Elena in the afterworld. And I feel like Deanna just killed Elena and said, oh, you can keep Erewhon, and then pissed off. They were doing this to get rid of Erewhon. What just happened? Did she just pass Velaris? I'm sorry. Page 800. She passed through a world of snow-capped mountains under shining stars, passed over one of those mountains, where a winged male stood beside a heavily pregnant female, gazing at those very stars. Fae. They were fae, but this was not her world. Is that Akatar? What? He lifted a hand as if in greeting. Did she just see RHYSAND? What? Oh my gosh. But this was written before Akatar. Is this referencing Akatar? What? I'm sorry. Did RHYSAND just help? What? So, Aelin has sacrificed the human part of her and most of her power, but she is now fully fae, cannot shift to human anymore, but she's alive. Woo! Okay, what page are we on? Okay, we're on page 804. This series is stressful. This book is stressful. It's time. We're on to the last, according to Goodreads, I'm on the last 9% of Kingdom of Ash. It's time to read the ending of the Throne of Glass series, the finale. So I have read a bit further since I last spoke to you. The rest of the 13 sacrificed themselves to destroy the witch towers. That was the footage you'll have seen where I was bawling my eyes out. Gutted about that. And then, obviously, the battle has then gone on for a further 5-6 days after that point. And they're losing hope. They're, like, on death's door. And then Aelin and the Kagan army turn up. And they attack Morath from the back. They get towards the front, I believe. And then the rest of Morath's army turns up behind them. So they're trapped again. They're all trapped again. Like, the last of their forces are all there. They're all in the city now. And Aelin alone has gone out to meet Maeve and Erewhon on the battlefield. So we have Aelin currently fighting Maeve and Erewhon. It's kind of like flicking back and forth between perspectives. This is the final showdown. Elide has come up with a plan. We don't know what the plan is. We know it involves Yrene. Hale didn't want her to go, but she's going and he's let her. And I think Dorian's gone with them. So there's like Elide, Dorian, Yrene. I think that's it. Yrene has like sent out a burst of magic. And Erewhon has now gone after Yrene. And Yrene appears to be alone at this point. And Aelin is left to fight Maeve. So that is where we're at. Time to finish the book. What? I just read. They watched in silence as the Vald King turned to ashes as a winter wind swept over the tower balcony and carried them far, far away. I turned the page and the first line is, she was dead, Aelin was dead. I'm like, what? Let's hope that this is not real. I have one problem with this book. I wanted to see Manon and the witches return to their homeland. I just wanted that scene. I wanted to see Abraxos and Manon. What I wanted was to see Abraxos in the flowers that had grown in the wastes. That's what I really wanted to see. And I wanted to see Manon and the witches return home. That scene was not in this book. That is my only gripe with the entire series. It was fantastic. This book is amazing. This is 1,000 pages practically, and every single one of them was amazing. That's it. Front of Glass. I finished it. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I want to reread it. Manon is still my favourite character. I love Manon and Dorian. I love all the characters. Like, this series is amazing. If you haven't read this series and you like fantasy, read this series. If you liked all the fantasy elements of ACOTAR, like, this is so good. I was missing that one scene that I really, really wanted just to, like, close off the witch's story, like, fully. But other than that, it was perfect. If you watch this video to the end, leave me the fire flame emoji. And as always, if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next time.
Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade